Hello guys, welcome back to the Becoming TV series where we explore the deep truths and the principles that will enable you to become everything you were created to be, to do, and to have. I really hope you enjoyed the series on the spheres of wealth, right? Because true wealth really goes beyond material wealth, really goes beyond money. If you're going to be truly wealthy, you need to be wealthy in the holistic nature of your life, from your spiritual life to your solical life, your physical life, your social life, your relationships with other people, with your generation, with your legacy, and with the community at large. So let's go for another series, and this time let's focus on business and entrepreneurship, right? Because it's a natural off-take from what we're talking about. We're talking about the spheres of wealth, and if we're talking about wealth creation, what is the one thing that actually guarantees sustainable wealth is actually business, right? I mentioned that the richest people in the world, all 2,700 plus people, not one of them is an employee. All of them are either businessmen or investors who have owned businesses, or who are running businesses, or who own businesses, or who invest significantly in businesses. That is where their wealth comes from, right? So for as long as you're an employee, right, or for as long as you're really walking around the small levels of business, you're not really going to get that much. So you need to be able to think the way that these people think if you're going to generate the sort of wealth that they have been known for, right? So let's first of all focus on entrepreneur versus businessman, because this is something that I've found causes a lot of confusion. When you talk to people who are supposedly in business and you ask them what they do, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, I'm an entrepreneur, right? And it doesn't even stop there. It goes, they now classify it. There are subcategories, right? So you can have agripreneur, fashionpreneur, studentpreneur, this, that, and the other preneur, right? And that's a very interesting line of conversation. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But where the issue seems to be is, and this is the question I typically ask people when I'm running like a business masterclass. I say, or I ask them, are you an entrepreneur or are you a businessman? Right? Because the two things, even though we use them interchangeably, are actually not the same. And if you don't understand the difference, you'll continue to confuse one with the other. So what does it mean to be a businessman, and why is it different from being an entrepreneur? Well, here it is, simply put. Let's say the most popular business right now was the selling of phones, right? So I'm in a situation, maybe I'm looking to move out of paid employment, I'm looking for a business to start, I want to generate more income for myself, for my family, etc. And I see this friend of mine that I hadn't seen for a while, maybe 2 years, and I'm just seeing that he's living in this lavish mansion. He has like 3 cars, he has a private jet, he has this, that, and the other. Normally, or obviously, the first question I ask him is, dude, what are you doing to get this sort of money? I mean, show me the way now, as we say here. And he tells me, well, I went into the phone selling business and I'm selling phones, and that is what is giving me the cash that I'm getting. What is the natural, obvious thing I would want to do? You guessed it, right? Sell phones. Why? Because I see that this guy is making lots of money from this phone business. So obviously I want to do the same thing. So I jump into the phone selling market or phone selling business and I sell phones, and hopefully I start to make a profit. Another person sees me, another friend of mine, he sees myself and he sees the other guy and is like, dudes, what are you guys doing? And we tell him we're selling phones. He is also going to jump in, and then it goes on and on like that. Before you know it, about 20-30 people are seeing everybody else doing the same thing and they're hopping into that business. What have they done? They have created a market, right, that caters to the business of selling phones. That is really what business is all about. A businessman sees an opportunity in a market that is based on an existing idea, and because he wants to produce more income for himself, he wants to be more self-sufficient, etc., he goes into that market and into that business and starts up something similar, selling a similar product or a similar service. That is what business is all about. When you look in the dictionary and you see business is the buying and selling of products or services or whatever, That is typically what it's referring to. Is there anything wrong with that? Absolutely not, right? Because if you're going into the world of business, you need to have some certain skills around marketing, around sales, around the ability to communicate with customers, etc. So there is nothing wrong with being a businessman, but it is different from being a true entrepreneur. Now, what's the difference? The difference is that an entrepreneur builds a business around an idea that is not currently existing. I'll say that again. An entrepreneur builds a business around an idea that is not currently existing. Now, note that he doesn't necessarily have to start a new market. He can be in the same market. The difference is that his idea is not the same as the existing ideas. Right? Why? Because he has an internal vision. He is seeing something differently from the way other people are seeing it. He is seeing a particular problem, and he believes that he has the solution or the solutions to that problem. And because of that, he develops a product or develops a service that caters specifically to the problem that he has found, that he believes he has the answers to. Now, if I were to put all of that in one single sentence, and this is a sentence I usually say, I'll say it like this: businessmen play the game, but entrepreneurs change the game. Did you get that? Businessmen play the game, entrepreneurs change the game. It's a very subtle thing, but it makes a world of difference. And when I come your way next time, I'm going to further talk about the differences, the core differences between businessmen and entrepreneurs. It's going to be very interesting. So see you soon.